So the intention is to like pull some guidance for anyone watching here whenever they're watching. I'm just gonna tune in and see what comes out. The magic is real because what do I get?
The Page of Cups.
We're literally just talking about play, and the Page of Cups is literally about that. The pages are like children. The pages are like explore your inner child and dreaming and like fantasy land and vivid imagination.
Like innocence, you know? Like
Innocent.
like viewing ourselves as like we are all children of God, right? And so it's like just because we've had a few more years since we've been 5 doesn't mean we're no more childhood, no more play, no more, you know? It's like let's lighten up a little bit. I love that. And what's really interesting that I have that I have just pulled is the Queen of Swords. I pulled this almost the same time you pulled the Page of Cups, which is slightly opposite. I wouldn't say opposite, but it's more intellectual. It's more like something mental, creating boundaries, right? It's like, and when this came out, when you pulled the Page of Cups, it was like having that balance of both. Having the balance of like, okay, I am an adult. Like, I do have things to, you know, to do and to be mature about and to like set boundaries and respect myself. But also, like, we can not take it all so seriously.
And you know what I'm noticing is that they both have like a sea behind them, and there's all the blue. Yeah, like they're kind of both sitting by the sea if you look at these cards, but they have different energies. And what's also interesting is that in Queen of Swords, her cup is like behind the bars underneath her, right? So it's interesting that I got the Page of Cups and you got the Queen of Swords. And I don't know, it feels like she's guarding that cup. So it's like having, it feels like your inner child being a part of you that like you protect and cherish within. And it also feels like mommy child energy where like you are the adult and you parent yourself. So if we go with the like mother child energy, it's like she's the mom who would like tell her kid the full truth and like be authentic in the way that she raises her kid. As like if her kid is like doing something that's whenever she needs to like pull out her motherly like responsible energy she would. So I feel like this is about like knowing when to be in this like playful energy and like innocent energy, and also simultaneously having this like responsible, also like I'm also getting like a vision for the future because she's looking ahead, like bringing this sense of like the inner child with you, like being young and playful, and also having an eye on like where you're going, and like so not losing sight.
Which is okay, perfect for the next card. Yeah, no, that was perfect. I was like, you're talking about the vision, which is literally the King of Wands, literally going so perfectly together. The King of Wands is very much the visionary. It's also entrepreneur card. So if you're an entrepreneur or if you're someone who like feels like they need to like be super regimented or strategic, the Page of Cups coming out is letting us know that it's really important to play. And another thing that you were saying when you said mother-child energy, I also was kind of picturing a mother that was really hard on their kid and being like, stop playing. So it's kind of like reparenting ourselves as far as like letting ourselves be maybe who we were not able to be or who we thought we were not able to be as children, and reorienting our future based on reorienting our past, basically, because all we have is right now. The way that we have relationship with our past will impact our relationship with the future. So if you feel like your future is really like cloudy or wonky or like it just feels heavy, then we're definitely being called to bring in that Page of Cups, the childlike wonder, the reparenting of self, and being like, wait, no, I can play here. This can be fun. It doesn't have to be so heavy. It doesn't have to be like perfectionism. That's another thing that's coming through, is like the perfectionism has got to go for moving forward in a very powerful way if we want to make an impact, because the most powerful leaders never claim to be perfect. They are just like all of us, and they are just inspired to lead the way in whatever unique way that is calling them forward. And then the last card I got was the Lovers. So that's interesting. But if you have anything else to say too.
Yeah, it's so interesting that you have like a masculine figure there and a feminine, and then the Lovers, which is a union of both. So the Lovers is choice, but I'm also getting balance. And we're talking about that, of like knowing when to like put your big, what's the big girl shoes on and went to play. Because I also have another page here, which is the Page of Wands. So interesting how I'm getting these, like, I feel like even this is a reflection of like the whole reading. We're like getting complementary cards. Because you have the King of Wands, I have the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands is when the King of Wands was a beginner. It's interesting. I was speaking about how when I started reading tarot, it was fun. But then at some point when I made it about business, it was like, it becomes rigid and like, I don't want to do that. So knowing when to get back to this energy of like, how did it feel like when you first started, or how did it feel like when you were a kid, if we're just talking about life in general? Like, how can you bring that fun, your personality with you of your childhood to, and it's almost like what I'm getting is this improvement of self. So like bringing that with you, but having like a 2.0 version of it where like you have those skills are developed, but you don't lose the essence of it, you know? Because our soul essence really is our inner child. Like when we remember when we were kids, that's when we didn't have any worries, mostly. When we didn't have any worries and we were just playful, and like that's when you feel the most you, right? Before the conditioning and the programming. So it's so interesting. I feel like this is just a reminder with the star here too. We love the star. So I'm remembering like, interesting, I'm also going to be bringing that up since it came up. So I've been creating the Soul Essence Portal where I was called to record these like meditations to help people reconnect with their soul essence. The funny thing, so the reason why the star reminded me of it is because the energy was very much cosmic. Like I'm just channeling like galactic family and like this source energy, because children are very connected to that. Okay, when we're kids, we're very connected to that. And I have an inner child healing meditation inside. Anyway, it's so fun. The thing is that when I first got the idea, it was so fun. But then I wanted to make it perfect. Like you're saying, the perfectionism. So I kept procrastinating. But then this one day, I just allowed myself to have fun with it. And I recorded everything in one day. And it really sparked me up. I was in like this Page of Wands energy. And I went through the experience myself. If I was going to create this for me, just for me, like, let's just have fun. Let me just discover what I'm made of. Let me just discover my gifts, which is interesting because that's what the Soul Essence Portal is about. I wanted to help people uncover their gifts, like their soul essence. And when I went through the journey by recording it, by the end, I just started to feel like my inner child come out again. And I felt called to do like these things that I used to do when I was a kid. So I feel like the medicine here is about bringing the play into what you're creating, whether that be a business or like whatever vision that you have, like making sure to keep that fun alive, because without that it's just so boring. Like we just don't want to do that.
Like literally, what's the point? If we're forcing ourselves to do something that feels heavy, I'm with you with the tarot thing and everything. If it becomes, oh, it's 444 here, by the way. I just glanced down. I was like, whoa, that's such a sign right there. And that's energetic alignment. That's angelic guidance. Like our angels are not wanting us to be so serious. And I think that's why we got such balanced cards, is to show like it is important to have a vision. It is important to be strategic. It is important to like learn and to you know, use our adult minds to create some things, but like sometimes that just gets in the way. And if we're not excited and we're not leading through our excitement, then we're going to be reflected, speaking of the law of reflections, back how we are taking ourselves too seriously, or we are being too hard on ourselves rather than just experimenting and playing. And the Lovers is also about making a choice from love. Ultimately, when we move forward in love, our inner child is alive, not like repressed down, being like, no, shut up and sit, like, be quiet, don't speak. It's like, no, let the inner child express. That is us moving through love. That's us creating through love. And that is magnetic. That is something that people just want more of, because they're like, wait, they have something that's inspiring my inner child to come alive, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, or whatever, even just in your everyday life. Like, so yeah, this is inspiring for me to even talk about and to have this conversation with you today.
Yeah, me too. It was so cool. Now I keep looking and 444, but I'm seeing the 5s and the 4s. And we don't even have to attach any meanings to it as well. The Page of Cups can be about like getting signs and synchronicities. So I feel like it's just about also when we are in that frequency of play, that's when you start seeing the angel numbers, and that's when you start seeing the synchronicities, because now you're attuned to that sense of like wonder for life. Like, oh my God, I just saw a rainbow. That means there's a positive new beginning. And we can't notice that if we're not in that space. Right. So
like we can't experience magic if we don't believe in it. And if we're like totally disconnected from our own magic or life's magic, then we're not going to see it. Period. It's going to feel so heavy and really dark.
Wow, this was such a medicine, even just for me. And yeah, I feel like we're coming into a close for this. We are, oh my God, 55 minutes. So since I spoke about the Soul Essence Portal, I just want to tell you guys that it's open for enrollment now, and I have 10 spots open for an early bird pricing of $55 only. And you get these forever. You get unlimited access to these meditations that are just, I was in awe, Nelly. I was in awe when I experienced it myself, because I'm an open channel, and I'm in love with this gift that I have to just like be open to like receiving, and I just bring in this cosmic energy into the earth, being very much on a starseed mission myself. So